Greetings and salutations, my friends. Welcome to a brand new experiment. You might be looking at it and going, what the fuck is going on? Well, we have completely flipped the English league system. So all the Premier League clubs are now in the conference. The conference is now the Premier League. Championship is now League 2 and League 2 is now the Championship. The poor League 1 clubs just get to stay where they are. So what we're going to do in this, I can't wait for this, it's going to be exciting, is to have a look at what happens going into the future. So obviously we know that the big Premiership teams are going to get promoted, but remember, only a couple of them can get promoted. So it's going to take a while. Some of these Premier League teams might be stuck in the Vanarama for 10 years. So, and also, in that time, what it is the Premier League, these teams in the Premier League now have got a race to build up their sort of club, basically. They've all got little stadiums and no money. So now they're going to get massive amount of TV revenue, sponsorships out their ears. They're going to be able to sign players. And what they've kind of got to do is become a big team before the big teams that are in the conference catch up and then just overtake them. So they've got a limited window. I imagine the first few teams that get promoted from the conference are just going to get promoted every year until they're in the Premier League. And these teams need to grow as quick as possible to see if they can survive once all the big teams are matching them. So, and also you've got the problem with the big teams where they're not going to be getting the money that they were before. So that's going to be an issue. We could see some bankruptcies, and also big players are going to want to leave. They're not going to want to play in the conference or League 2. They want to fuck off. So will these teams be picking up the big players cheap because they need to get them off their books? So what this series is going to be, it's probably going to be 2 or 3 parts because I want to sort of see longer term to see what happens. But in this first part, we're going to look maybe sort of 5 years into the future. We'll check in every year to see who got promoted, what big transfers there's been and all that sort of stuff. But we'll do a year at a time, maybe 5 years, and then we'll continue with part 2 and 3. So join me on this adventure. I think it's going to be fascinating. I also want to sort of know which of the sort of bigger teams is going to get into the Premiership first. If we have a look at the conference, where are we? The conference there, because I'm feeling like the teams that are going to do best are the teams that have like a sugar daddy, because they can continue to pump money into the team to keep it up. So the sort of the Man Cities of this world may have a better chance because they can their rich Arab dudes can just chuck a load of money at it and hope for the best. Some of these teams that are kind of lower Premier League teams, I'm not even sure if they're going to get all the way back up to the Premier League in time, because the whole league system is going to be a fucking mess. Like, you know, the West Broms, the Watford, the Swansea, the smaller budget teams already. Obviously, there's 24 teams in the Vanarama, so it's all 20 Premiership teams and then 4 of the biggest sort of Championship sides. So, without further ado, let's skip ahead 1 year and see how everybody got on. Come on, Liverpool. Come on. Just this one time. We could win the league in one of my experiments. That'd be amazing. Please. Right, let's go. Welcome back. Right, so we're a year ahead now. The first thing we're going to look at is transfers. So I've got it on monthly transfers. So this is as soon as the game starts. As you can see, a lot of free transfers from our current Premiership teams, because I think they've just realised, we've got money now, you can all fuck off because you're shit. So they've dumped off a bunch of players, but there's been no big signings. I was thinking, while it was doing the year for holiday, I was thinking, they're not going to have a massive amount of money, the current Premiership teams, because, or the now Premiership teams, because they won't get the TV revenue, because that happens before, and they don't get prize money until the end of the season. So they'll get good attendances and maybe some better sponsorships, but I don't think they're going to go mental with it. So we'll find out if that's the case. So we're in September. Let's go to January. I don't think there's any big stuff going on there. Okay, we got a first big... Maxi Gradle is the biggest Premiership player to move in the window, going to Shagalong. And then Christian Fuchs has gone to China. There we go. Nacho Monreal, PSG, Damian Fellaini, Rojo. So not any of the big name players. These are probably players that you would cash in on just to keep the money flowing in, really. You're not really too much damage to your first team there. And a lot of them are going to China and the United Arab Emirates and all those rich countries. We got any more? February 25, Fagouli's gone from West Ham to Quanjin. Schweinsteiger's gone to Qatar. Danny Ings has actually moved between the Premiership, or the Conference as it is now. Lucas has gone to Al Ali in UAE. Wow, they're really stealing all these players, aren't they? Okay, we'll go to the beginning of this season. Oh, okay, we've got our first big one. It's Philippe Coutinho has left Liverpool. God, why is it always Liverpool? He's for £40 million, and Alexis Sanchez has left Arsenal for £25 million. That's a bargain. You'd expect the money to be sort of less because they need the money. They're not in such a good bargaining position because these players are going to want to leave. So that Sanchez deal is quite cheap, though. That is a fucking bargain for PSG. They've strengthened with two very, very good players. But not as many as I'd expect. And I suppose most of these Premiership teams have a bank so they can save their money and they can survive. I think next season is going to be fascinating. Right, so there's no more transfers. So I haven't looked at the table. So let's look at the Premiership first. To see which conference team won the Premiership. And well done to Lincoln. I imagine I've got at least one subscriber that's a Lincoln fan. All your dreams have come true, my friend. Lincoln are Premiership champions. Now, as we said, this is all about these teams building as quick as possible to become good Premiership teams by the time the Premiership teams arrive in the Premiership. So it sounds so overcomplicated. But Champions League will help massively for Lincoln, Barrow, Gateshead and Dagenham, Redbridge. Wrexham finished in 5th, getting the Europa Cup spot. Fortunately, a couple of relegations. In the Championship, which are all the current League 2 teams, we've got Accrington. Oh, no, wait, go back. Did I just... Yeah, no, it was... Yeah, ignore this. Technical difficulties. So Plymouth and Cambridge and Mansfield got the sort of probably biggest promotion of their entire lives because that's going to be massive for them. And then we've got down in League 1, sorry. These are just where they were. They're League 1 teams in League 1. They stayed where they are. So the Posh, Walsall and Millwall got promoted. Come on, Liverpool. So this is the Championship. So we got Huddersfield, Brighton, QPR, Nottingham Forest. Sort of teams you'd expect, really. No massive surprises in that division. Bolton are now in the... and Charlton are now in the Conference. That could be tricky for them. Right, come on, Liverpool. Come on, Liverpool. It's never fucking Liverpool, is it? Sold Coutinho. Didn't get promoted. Oh, Jesus, look at that. 98 points each. It was on goal difference. Man United got promoted. I would have said, if I had to guess, I would have said probably... My first choice would have been like Man City and Chelsea to go up. And then probably Man United and Chelsea. There's only two teams that get promoted, one through the league, one through the playoffs, so it's going to take a while. These teams need to get moving. Man United and Chelsea are going to have a much better time of it because they're going to get promoted into League 2, which is filled with Championship sides, so they should be able to carry on and just push through that league pretty easily. It's all about the players they can keep hold of. Also, I'd like to notice that all 4 teams that were relegated were all the Championship clubs that we used to fill in the 24 teams. So that's pretty realistic. Swansea struggled as we expected. Hull, West Brom, Norwich, Burnley. It's pretty normal league table, really. So, right, let's go a year ahead. See how we get on. I think this is going to be massive because all the Premiership teams are going to have a shit ton of money with prize money and TV money, and now is the most vulnerable time for these conference teams because they're going to struggle to keep hold of any of their good players. It's going to test the loyalty of these guys. Right, let's go. Another year. Welcome back. Right, the first thing we're going to look at, I haven't looked at anything, is the transfers, because this is going to be a very interesting one. Are the now Premiership teams gobbling up all the ex-Premiership teams as players? Can they hold on to any of them? How much shitty money are they going to spend and throw at their team? So we're going to go through month by month. Here's going to be a big one. So PSG... Oh, Liverpool have lost another player. I'm sorry, I get sidetracked. Kevin De Bruyne has gone to PSG. They have built a super team at this point because they've already got Coutinho and Sanchez. That's disgusting. Emre Can went to Arsenal, which is kind of annoying because they're in the same fucking division. We got Bellerin's gone to Bayern. We've lost a bunch of players. Brad Guzan has gone to Atlanta. That was already done deal. Just if you're not, I manage Atlanta in one of my saves. That's why that's exciting to me. We'll have a look at some of the teams in the conference. So it looks like some of these conference teams are picking up
relatively cheap players. We'll look into them in more detail. Okay, Divock Origi's now gone to AC Milan. Danny Rose has gone to Wrexham. That's just a bizarre-looking thing. Tottenham to Wrexham in an £18 million move, of course. That's the sort of first big purchase we've seen from the now Premiership teams. Pritchard gone to Macclesfield, as you do. You can pause it if you want to check out more stuff. All right, any big ones there? No. Okay, Lallana. Oh my lord, Lallana's gone to Man City. It's a bit more understandable because Man City did get promoted, didn't they? No, it's Chelsea and Man United. Okay, that's even worse then. Fuck you, game. Why do you always screw over Liverpool every time? No other sort of big ones there. Okay, we got the January transfer window. Arsenal, we've signed fucking Jack Wheelchair. Sturridge and Wheelchair. What a dream team. Combined, they might get 10 appearances a season. Right. January transfer window. Is this a big one? Okay, Riyad Mahrez has gone to Shagalot for 30 million. Idris Guy has gone to Quanjin. So they are just disappearing to these Chinese teams. Bojan's gone to Gateshead, along with Jay Rodriguez. Shea Ojo's gone to Barrow. John Flanagan's gone to Tranmere. There's some interesting ones there. Let me know in the comments if you spot any obvious ones that I've missed. Okay, nothing too much. Hozabed's gone to LA Galaxy. A couple more to LA Galaxy. They've been busy. Bunch of free transfers. A bunch more free transfers. And then we've got the start of this transfer windows. Jason Denny has gone from Man City to Dover, as you do. Callum Wilson's gone to Eastleigh. James Ward-Prowse's gone to Mackie D's. Bunch of players. Liverpool didn't lose anyone. Hooray! Huzzah! Right, let's look at the Premier League table. Have Lincoln retained their crown? The answer is no. Where did Lincoln finish? Wow, 11th. I suppose Champions League, it throws them off a bit. Let's have a look at Tranmere's transfers to see what magic they've done. So they've got Tommy Elphick, good centre-back, ex-Bournemouth player. James Husband, right back, left back. I knew he was a back of some sort. Forshaw, right attacking midfielder, striker. Central. I should just stop this. It's trying to show off, and it's horribly backfired. So they're not going mental. It could be because they're maybe building new stadiums, because that's going to be a massive thing as well. They've not gone crazy, which is surprising. Let's have a look at a couple of the other top teams. Barrow. Oh no, I'm looking on the fucking screen when I was looking at this year because I went too far ahead again, you idiots. That's just what they signed this year, isn't it? Those three. Okay, so last year they spent 32 million. Okay, so interesting. I think they're going about the right way in that they're not splashing ridiculous money on any one player. They're just building a solid team. Jack Grealish, great pickup for 3 million. I think is a really clever way of doing it, because then you've built now a decent team. The next year maybe sprinkle on some sort of, star players, Flanagan and such. But they're doing the business then. Interesting. So Barrow is sort of similar deal. They spent 34 million, so very similar money. Again, just spreading it out, building a solid team. Right, let's look down the leagues. Bournemouth, Chester and Torquay all went down. So the teams that went up, I can't even remember, from the Championship, which were League 2, to now Premiership. It's confusing. Right. Who got promoted? Peterborough, back-to-back. I suppose once those League 1 teams got promoted to the Championship, they're in such a powerful position because they're fighting against League 2 teams. It's really confusing in my brain. And so we've got Ligue 1, who got promoted from Ligue 1. Brighton, QPR and Huddersfield, as kind of expected, really. They're just going to fly through the divisions. Right, now, if we go on to League 2, which should contain Man United and Chelsea, they should win the league, shouldn't they? Yeah, easy, as expected. Let's have a look at what they're sort of doing in the transfer market, though. So they didn't sign a single player. Yeah. I imagine they sold £34 million worth of players just to sort of keep the lights on, I guess. And then again, this season so far, it's only just opened the transfer window, but sold just a lot of fringe players. It looks like maybe some shitty youngsters and stuff. They've not spent a single penny. I wonder if it'll be the same for Chelsea. Looks that way. Oh, they signed Simon Francis from Bournemouth, right back, centre back option. Really good for this division. And they didn't get rid of anyone. Interesting, maybe because of that sugar daddy thing. But this season they've just palmed off a lot of shit players. A few, we've got retirement there. We've got a bunch of cheap players, fringe players. So they're managing to keep hold of their team. Right, let's look at... Come on, Liverpool. Come on, Liverpool. Come on, Liverpool. Fuck's sake. Point off. Oh. Okay, Arsenal and Tottenham destroyed everyone. Man City got promoted as well because they keep buying all the Liverpool players. Liverpool are sucking massive, big, fat balls at the moment. Jurgen Klopp's still in charge, though. He hasn't got sacked, which is good. Let's have a look at Liverpool, what Liverpool are doing. So in that first season, they just got rid of Danny Ings and Ragnar Klavan, 2 fringe players. And they bought Nasser Chadli for £15 million and Jack Wheelchair. But they sold Coutinho, Emre Can, Divock Origi, Flanagan, the youngster Woodburn has gone to Newcastle, Shea Ojo. Wow, my God, that is... They're not going to ever get there, are they? They're selling all their players. It's a fire sale at Liverpool. Okay, let's look at the difference then between Arsenal. So they big one signing in the first season, which was Latan, not bad for a conference signing. Got rid of Per Mertesacker, cut the fringe players, and then this season bought Emre Can in. They sold a lot of money's worth. Sanchez was obviously the big one. Cockblocker, Bellerin, El Neni, Jeff Rene, Adelaide. A lot of fringe players again. I guess just to keep the finances okay. If we look at that, it still says they're rich, so they're doing all right. They're doing the job. They're still going to get decent sponsorship money. They're just losing out on league prize money, and TV revenue is obviously the big one. But once again, Liverpool failed. Oh, tits. I'm really quite annoyed by that. More annoyed than I should be. But I should expect it in any experiment I do. Liverpool suck balls. Big fat ones. Big fat hairy balls. Right, enough about balls. Let's go ahead another year. See how we get on. Will I imagine Man United and Chelsea are just going to fly now because they're going to be in League One now, which is full of League Two teams. So it's only going to get easier. And it's all about those conference sides in the Premiership building a big enough team, because Man United have still got Paul Pogba and Martial and not so much Lingard. Not a fan. David De Gea still there. And they're not unhappy, which is amazing. I'm very surprised. Even Ashley Young's like, oh, no, I'm fine, stay there, please, let me commit my future. Yeah, well, it's because you're shit. Right, okay, on to another year. Come on, Liverpool. Fuck's sake. Right, end of the third year. Let's go straight into it. We're going to have a look, as before, at the transfers and see what fuck-ups Liverpool have made, because, you know, they're good at that, it seems. Let's zoom it back. Don't look, don't spoiler. Okay, so that was the last one we saw. So then, to see any big transfers. Okay, Eric Dyer went to Gateshead. Mustafi went to Barcelona, a bit more understandable. Barini went to Tranmere, still a bad buy for Tranmere, to be honest. Jordan Ibe went to Barrow. Adama Traore went to Tranmere, so they are spending some money now. We're seeing more of these smaller teams picking up some players. Any other big transfers? Yes. Gateshead is now the home of Sergio Aguero. And Eastleigh for the Ox. Oh no, Liverpool sold another player to Barrow. Fine. I'm used to it now. I'm over it. Okay, let's move on to January. Christensen went to Woking. Liverpool didn't lose any players. Nathan Aké went to Guiseley. Okay, not too horrific. A few little jibbly jabblies. Right, okay, done. Let's look at the Premier League. But Millwall have overtaken, so they were in League One. They were one of the lucky teams to get promoted from League One in the first year. That's the normal league. Then Championship because it was easier, and then straight away have won the league, but only just over Macclesfield. That's a really interesting one. I haven't looked at stuff like Champions League and FA Cups too much because I don't want this video to be massively long. None of these teams are going to be winning the Champions League anytime soon. Peterborough did pretty well. Who are the other teams that got double promoted? I can't remember because I don't know lower leagues well enough. But let's have a look at Millwall, sort of money they're spending. They got Van Aanholt. Okay, they haven't gone crazy. they're just a normal team that's been promoted. I think next year we'll see a bigger transfers from Millwall. But let's have a look at Macclesfield. No, they were. Yeah, that's fine. I was just checking. Right, let's have a look. So so they're starting to buy some bigger name players now. They're starting to regularly spend up near £10 million plus add-ons, loads of plus £10 million, and not selling anyone. They're just adding on, spending all their good money, and they've got some good young players. Uwe Meccano's a really good youngster, centre-back. We've got Kane Wilson. Is he the Tottenham kiddie? James Ward-Prowse. Galloway's the Everton youngster. Really good young players. They're doing it the right way. We'll have a look at one more. We'll have a look at Tranmere. Now they spent £41 million, still building a solid squad. I don't like that Barini signing. Jordi Classy, Loris Karius, that's a great shout now. Liverpool selling more players because that's what they do now, apparently. We are the Southampton now. We've swapped roles. Okay, let's have a look at the Championship. League table. Brighton, Huddersfield, QPR, as you'd expect. This is going to be the next big one. Are they going to get promoted straight away? That's the playoff final. Bristol City going up. Man United, Chelsea just storming the lead. I want to see what sort of transfers they're making. From what we saw last season, they're holding on to their players, and they are. They're not selling anyone. They're not buying many players. It's killed their ability to, I suppose, attract good players, but also the money to sign them. Juan Fran is their only signing. But they're not really selling their players, and that's been the key. So I think if they're in the Championship next season, if they can do one more year without selling a bunch of their players, they should be fine, and they should go straight to near the top of the Premier League. Let's have a look at old Conte. Didn't sign a single player and sold £44 million. That's interesting. So they seem to be having to sell a little bit more. Their main sell there was Christensen, who's for up to 28 million. But a bunch of other players. They must have a relatively small squad now. But everybody's pretty happy. Look, people are wanting to sign new contracts, which is surprising. I suppose because they still have the big reputation. Right. Let's look at League 2 and see if Arsenal have gone up. Oh, no. Go that button there. Arsenal, Man City, as you'd expect, both getting promoted. I imagine they're going to be very similar. Not signing anyone, a couple of freebies, selling £47 million. So that's a little bit on the high side to really push. You want to keep it together as much as you can. Man City's going to be an interesting one, all that money. They have sold 54, so they got rid of, obviously, Aguero. No other massive one. Denny, I don't even know who this kid he is. That's a lot of money for him. He's not that great, is he? Okay. You enjoy yourselves then. Right. Now here we go. Let's get depressed at Liverpool, or laugh, depending on your team you support. Yes! Yes! Now all the good teams have gone. We've finally been promoted. Oh, that's so good. Yay! We've done it, boys. Right, us and Tottenham. So the next on the list is probably the likes of Everton, West Ham, Newcastle, Southampton. Are probably the big teams to go next. But we've done it. We're a bit behind, but not as bad as I thought it was going to be. Let's have a look at our transfers. Nobody in. 27. Okay, that's better. We're not going too mad. And that was our backup goalkeeper. Nathaniel Klein's quite a bit of a miss. I wonder who's been playing right back all season. Oh, Trent. We got the youngster Trent Alexander-Arnold. Played 42 games. He's a good level for the level we're in now. He'll do all right in the next couple of divisions. Good to see him getting game time. I think he'll be upgraded in the next FM. But Firmino's still up front. 20 goals. Daniel Sturridge played 28 games. That's so fucking unrealistic. What a joke that is. But let's have a look who got relegated. Bolton got relegated again. Along with some of the smaller teams that have just been destroyed. As soon as you get relegated into the Panorama now, it's going to be a nightmare because you're just going to go straight back down here. 7 points having at Waterlooville. Bit of a struggle. Right, there we go, guys. We're into the League 2. Come on, Liverpool. Right, let's skip ahead. One more year. We'll do one more year before we finish this video and see how we get on. Right, here we go. End of year 4. Liverpool got back-to-back promotions. Have Macclesfield broken the world transfer record? All these questions will be answered shortly, if I can find the right buttons. Here we go. Going back a gear. I hope you didn't look. Don't cheat, right? Don't cheat. So, Carl Walker went a couple... Oh, Chelsea are buying... So, here we go. So, this is the difference, you see. Chelsea are now spending money. Almost 40 million combined, which is really interesting. Unless they sold one of their big guns, maybe that's the case. So, Man United are spending a bit of money as well. Not quite the level, but they're coming back. Yuri Tillman's great. Another Chelsea signing. Another Chelsea signing. Another Chelsea signing. Another Chelsea... Okay. We can see where this is going. I think Chelsea are going to absolutely dominate. Okay, I'm a bit worried about the other teams now. Man United have bought Justin Kluivert. Is that son of Patrick? I believe it is. Ajax. Sounds like it should be. Then a bunch of free transfers. Nothing much. Liverpool bought a player. Oh, no, we sold a player. Sadio Mane's gone to Arsenal. What are you doing, Liverpool? Okay, it's fine. Andre Wisdom, ex-Liverpool player's gone to Dortmund. Okay. Isaac Success, gone to Cambridge, as you'd expect, in this wacky world. And then that's about it. Emre Can has gone to Man City now. He's being passed around the Premiership teams. This has obviously just happened for this season coming up. Oh, for Jesus, Pete's sake. Right, okay, let's have a look at the Prem. Have Millwall retained their... It was Barrow! Okay, that one is surprising. Millwall won the league, and they're a bigger team overall. Barrow finished third. I'd expect them to go on, and especially with the likes of Peterborough as well, doing really well. Did not expect Barrow to win the league by 15 points. Millwall have just... What have Millwall done there? Right, let's have a look at Barrow. What crazy shit have you done, people? Okay, so we bought Jack Wheelchair, didn't we, for like 3 million? And then we've sold him to Barrow for 22, because that's just how we roll, apparently. We're investment club now. Joe Ledley on a free. Kieran Gibbs, not bad. Nothing exceptional. I'm very worried. I think by now they should be looking at world-class players to stand any chance of the ominous presence that is the likes of Chelsea, Man United, Man City and all those teams. Again, they're just strengthening, though. They've not sold any sort of players for any sort of money. Let's have a look down the leagues. As expected, Chelsea and Man City have dominated. Let's have a look. Are we looking at the right season? It's this season, is it? We looked at last season. So, as we saw, they spent money. 70... Okay, so they've gone into full investment. I didn't think they'd do this until the Premiership. Bearing in mind they're in the Championship, they spent £72 million, only selling 20, and that was basically one goalkeeper. That's Thibaut Courtois left. But they've gone full investment mode. I'm surprised that Yuri Tillmans would even go to a Championship club, even if it's the likes of Chelsea. Let's have a look if Manchester United have done the same. So they spent 16. So, yeah, Championship seems to be where you can start spending money again. I'm very, very surprised about that. Justin Kluivert was 22. Uga Uzga was 27. Malcolm, Darren Randolph. That's the goalkeeper, isn't it? Yeah. Cheeky pickup. Anybody out? Not really anybody at all. So they've fully invested once landing in the Championship, which I'm very, very surprised about. Let's have a look down in League One. We're expecting the two teams, Arsenal, Man City. Yep, along with Brentford. Well done, Brentford. We'll have a quick look at their transfers. Yeah, so League One still seems to be sell your players, shit, we're running out of money zone. Championship seems to be, all right, let's go, let's invest. Can't believe they got Sadio Mane. Bargain price as well. Absolute ridiculous. What are you doing, Liverpool? Arsene Wenger still manager. You've got Man City. Rob Newman is manager of Man City. Okay, and they've spent big money on the one big signing, Emre Can, and they got another cheapie and a couple of freebies. Leighton Baines and Carl Jenkins. How old's Leighton Baines now? 35. And they haven't sold too bad. So it looks like having that sugar daddy has helped them a little bit. Right, let's look on to League 2. At the table. Come on, Liverpool. Come on, Liverpool. Back to back. If they don't, I'm going to cry. Yes. Okay, good. And my brother's team at eSports, Sheffield Wednesday as well. Liverpool, back-to-back champions of really low league shitness. Let's have a look at their transfers. We know Jurgen Klopp is still manager. Good to know. So they are in full sell mode. That was it. Nasser Chadli was their big signing in 3 years. Charlie Burns on a free transfer. Fucking hell. Valued at 15 grand. Okay. Still selling 50 million quid's worth of players. Jack Wilshere went. Joe Gomez went. Grujic went for a bargain price. Dejan Lovren went to Qatar for a very bargain price. He's only 30. That seems weird. Sadio Mane went. And a few sort of fringe players. Tottenham. Roberto Martinez is Tottenham manager. Okay. And they are still in sell mode, just not quite as crazy. 22 million, they haven't really bought a player. They have not bought a single player since the game began. They're going to run out of players soon. But obviously that's way of saving money, is just sell every fringe player you possibly can. Right, let's have a look at the Vanarama. Everton went through in the playoffs against Southampton. Who's the other team? It's Newcastle. Well done, Newcastle. How have they looked? So they started off first season fine, second season actually not too bad. I only sold 18 but spent 7. Third season didn't really buy but sold quite a lot. This season, massive clear out. They thought Ben Woodburn went again to Cambridge. Did he get any games? He did all right. But looks like they're in full shit. We need to save money. They're secure finances. Let's have a look at the other teams that are still in the Premiership. Or still in the Conference. Secure. West Ham secure. So any teams that stay in here much longer, the big teams, I think are going to be fucked. I think Bournemouth will be all right. They're in secure finances, but they've got one of the lowest budgets anyway. Southampton, secure. Okay. Let's have a quick look at... I imagine with them spending so much money, they should be fine. But let's have a look. See, only secure finances. They're gambling a little bit, but they should be fine now they're back in the Premiership. They have obviously gone into some debt trying to get promoted, speculate to accumulate and all that. Arsenal, rich still. They've done quite well with finances. Man City are still rich because they're Man City. Right, there we go, my friends. First part done. If you want to see another part, if you want to see me go maybe another sort of 4 years into the future, see what the Premiership tables look like, please do comment below and leave a like, because that, all helps the algorithm. Share the video with your friends and all that good stuff. That would be fantastic. Hope you've enjoyed it. The mighty rise of Liverpool. Sort of ish. It was a bit delayed, but we're on our way now. We should a couple more seasons away from the Premiership. How are Chelsea and the Man United's going to do in the Premiership next year? From the teams, from the fact that they've kept their teams together, I think they're going to be all right. I think they're still better than what's in the Premiership now. Those Premiership teams haven't invested enough to I think Man United are going to win it easily. I'm surprised how long it's taken. It's 4 years now. I thought they'd be spending millions, like £50 million on players, but they're not. They're spending 10, 15, 20 million pounds. Right, there we go. Thank you very much for watching, guys. Hope you enjoyed this little fun experiment. If you want to have a go, I haven't got the save announced, but it's on Steam Workshop, because when I thought of this experiment, I've got no idea if anybody has already done this experiment, because I don't really don't have time to watch other experiment videos, and I didn't bother searching. I just do the ones that I find fun. And I was going to build the database. I went into the editor and I was like working out, okay, which teams need to go where and stuff. And then I thought I'd have a check, and somebody had made the database already available on Steam. It's called the English Leagues Flipped. I'll leave a link to it in the description, so if you want to go and play it, because I think it'll be really fun managing Barrow in the Premier League, to beat all the other little teams around you and then build quick enough that you can survive when the big teams arrive back in the Premiership. I was even tempted to do a save on it, but that maybe I might do. I've got a little bit of time before, Atlanta. I'll think about it. Thank you very much. Bye-bye.